Welcome back to a Fab Journey. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy who is on a Fab Journey. And yes, this week, what? No cards? That's right. Being Christmas week with both Games and Gaming DNA's Armories cancelled, and that's us too knackered to go to the card merchant Hamilton's Armory on the Tuesday night with the 3-hour round trip that the travel is for that. Meant that we did no Armories this week. I think that's the second time in 21 weeks since we have taken up Fab that this has happened. But yes, that does mean that that means that this is not going to be a normal kind of week. Also, being Christmas, there's not really been much news, has there? The only thing that's really been is a video showing us what you get for taking part in the Compendium of Wraith world premiere in London. And look, it does look really cool. Unfortunately, I can't show you that video, but if you go to my Substack, you will be able to see that video that is linked that will be embedded in that post there that Flesh and Blood or LSS have put out for that. So, but yeah, sorry, I get done for sort of copyright infringement or something like that for using other people's content if I put it on this video. So sorry, can't do that. So yes, so basically what I'm saying is that my normal weekly updates, there's not really much from any of the sections. So instead, I thought I would go on for a bit of a rambling chat about rambling path about just stuff in general, obviously card related. First up though, I do hope you all had a good Christmas break. You've got to spend time with loved ones or whatever is your tradition at this time of year. Christmas isn't something that we take very seriously. Sure, there's a couple of presents and a nice meal, but it's a pretty low-key affair here, to be honest with you. Yeah, no lights outside or various decorations in the garden or anything like that for us. But before I head off on to my ramble, I have had time to release my second Armory guide to Altera, that being Gaming DNA in Hamilton. So please do go and check that out there. That's we've now got Gaming Gateway Games and the Gaming DNA, as well as that's the special about the Rotorua Christmas party as well. So go check those out on the channel. So looking back over the last 20 odd weeks that we've been playing Fab, it's been a bit of a winding journey, to be honest with you, with a few good surprises along the way. Look, what we hear or what I see online is that Fab is expensive on that one. Now look, I thought when I started out that we'd have a game that we could play practically for free, honestly, because we've been given Blitz decks at the Auckland Card Show. And I thought, look, we have everything that we need to play. And I guess in some ways we did, but that illusion was quickly shattered, to be honest with you, because if you want to do anything more than just a kitchen table kind of play. But I still don't think it's as expensive as as people say. There's a persistent sort of comment that a competitive deck will cost you $1,000, and that's US, not New Zealand dollars as well, I think. And sure, if you want a Pro Tour level deck, then they are going to be in that kind of price range. But to play a local Armory, you don't need anything like that level of deck. And let's once most of us are talking about being competitive at a local Armory, not competitive on the world stage. Look, when the Armory deck Rhinar came out, I played it straight out of the box at our local Armory. And I ended the night with 1 win and 2 losses. And in those 2 losses, my opponents were down to 1 and 4 life. So they were close games. I would call that competitive. And look, that's for just 60 New Zealand dollars. Now, look, sure, can you upgrade it? So I do expect to win an Armory with that deck. No, I don't really, but I can be competitive. I can have fun and not be embarrassed with that deck. Plus, you can also get the initial upgrades will be made for not much money, or even donations of cards from fellow players. Let's be honest. And then over time, as you get your gem packs, as you buy extra packs and stuff, you can slowly grow that deck. So look, yes, if you want to go straight in at the top, it's going to be expensive. If you want to be competitive and have fun at a local Armory level, then look, it's much more affordable than I think people really let on from that point of view. I guess it's because Fab is so built around the organized competitive play that people think that they want to have that top deck or they need that top deck, and they don't really need that top deck. Let's be honest. Look, we started playing Fab, or I started playing Fab because it's a fun game, but also so my daughter and I had a hobby that we could do together, basically. However, the thing that's really made this grow from this being a fun thing that we do kind of one evening a week is the community at the end of the day. And you guys for watching and supporting the channel as well. At our first Armory, people were very welcoming and suddenly had a pile of cards being given to us. Sure, it was nearly all bulk, okay? But the generosity was really appreciated for someone who hasn't got any cards at all, or has like one deck, who just bought the Armory deck. So yes, fine, it's bulk, it's cards that they perhaps don't want, but even so, it was still very nice. Now, clearly, look, I've put myself out there more than most people with this sort of Substack podcast, YouTube channel, whatever you want to call it. However, early on when I was posting about how much the game was costing, we were donated sort of deck boxes, sleeves, playmats, dice, counters, etc. So it's not just cards to help upgrade the decks that people are willing to help you out with. And I found that really kind of cool. Now, did we get lucky with Gateway Games? Yeah, possibly to a degree. They are a great crowd there. But I don't think it was. I don't think really. I think a lot of the communities are like that. I remember turning up to the Blitz skirmish at Card Merchant Hamilton, and we had 2 IRA decks ready to play. Only to find out that IRA was LL in Blitz, and we couldn't use those decks. And I was all prepared to say, look, let's just we'll just drive home and just not, even though it was a 3-hour round trip, and just go, yeah, okay, fine, these things happen. But no, people did. They all gathered round, got my daughter an extra deck or a spare deck, and I got given a couple of changes to my deck to make it legal enough to play. Because in theory, you shouldn't be playing Ira's sword, but I was allowed to do that because I wasn't going to win anything. But it was still, it was look, it was nice to play. They actually could gather around and made it so we could actually take part. And then there's also the community of organised events. Look, sure, Fab is the premier organised competitive TCG. However, we're learning that community organised events can be as much fun, if not more so, or more fun. We had a great time at the Rotorua Christmas party, and we're looking forward to the Calling Tai Happy, which is in Rangatua this year, which is 50 k's from Tai Happy. But hey, never mind. On that side of things. On the welcoming side of things, look, I've also found the playing community pretty diverse. Sure, look, it's 90% plus or whatever male. However, on other metrics, I would say it is diverse. I do love how the Calling Tai Happy is giving extra kin oath cards, which is a custom card they have for themselves, for players identifying as a woman or part of the LGBTQIA plus community. So, look, it's you can see that they're trying to be, that they want to be inclusive, and they are being inclusive. Also, at the Rotorua Christmas party, look, 5 out of the 12 players were female. Now, look, so it's not clear. It's not just LSS who are looking to grow the inclusivity, which they did with the creator grants this year. At least one of those there going in that direction. But the community, at least here in New Zealand, also wants to be inclusive as well, which I think is a really good thing. Is the community perfect? No, let's be honest, no community is. There'll always be personalities that do rub each other the wrong way. But look, that is the tiny minority. And this is a community that I'm proud to be part of, to be honest. I think it's a very cool, welcoming, inclusive community from that kind of sense. What's going up then? Look, we'll be back playing cards again this coming week. So normal service will resume with my weekly update from next week. Yeah, it's back to that. So please do. Thank you for following us and subscribing and all that kind of stuff, and supporting us over the last 20 odd weeks as we come to the end of 2025. Looking forward to 2026, as I say, calling Tai Happy. We've also got Road to Nationals for the first time ever for us as well, which will be a fun one, as well as all obviously the cool cards that are going to be released as well. So please do like, share, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. And I hope you've had a good festive period so far, and that you have a good New Year's celebration as well.